1898. Oldenburg still evades me. He somehow has become rather skilled at always being one step ahead. Average height, average weight, with dark hair that is beginning to thin. At this rate, I'll be questioning every old-timer northeast of Flatiron Lake. The sleepless nights and puke-filled mornings are enough to drive a man crazy. And it did. Vengeance took a hold of me, and like a fire that burns the meadow, it consumed me. I was lost. Never did I know the struggles of being a bounty hunter like I did these last few years. It is a task that I am becoming too old for. A few weeks back, my good friend Alex paid me a visit, and upon arriving at my homestead, he did not like what he saw. Skin and bones I was, drunk, yammering on about some skinwalker Oldenburg sent my way. When Alex tried to make me go with him, he said I tried to fight him, but in my state, I was no match. He helped me pack my things, and away we went. To clear our heads, he told me. It's coming up on a month now away from the Heartlands, and I couldn't be more grateful for a friend like Alex. Turns out a breath of fresh air and some hunting that I'm used to was just what I needed. Alex Green. I met him in my younger years as a hunter. He himself takes pride in the more legendary kills, and has had me tracking this shadow buck with him for a few days now. It seems to be doing the trick. Alex's wife was killed by a legendary grizzly a while back, and what was once New Hanover's most well-known naturalist, Alex practically kills anything that moves now. Any animal, that is. Scarred by the attack, Alex barely made it out alive. Both of us unable to carry on, so we do what we know. We hunt. Brothers, hunting the monsters that sabotage what life we had left. And so the hunt for Oldenburg continues. Alex, using his line of work, was able to get in good with the locals and get me some more details on someone more familiar with hunting bounties. He didn't tell me much, but it was worth a shot.
They say he don't refer to himself as a bounty hunter. Runs a gang, hidden and silent. They operate in the shadows. I wasn't given a name, just a couple of letters. D.W. You're to meet this man, D.W., 3 days from Sunday, in the Van Horn Saloon. When you get there, buy yourself a whiskey, take yourself a seat at the poker table in the back room. D.W. will be watching, and will be with you shortly after your arrival.
So with a breath of fresh air and some hopefully hired help, I can finally get back to work. Lord knows Cripps properly knows how to handle cattle, and with the natives making themselves more comfortable in the area, I fear the locals see them as more of a threat than they really are. It's time we change that. New Hanover needs the Heartland Rangers now more than ever. Gone are the days that we take this land, but inherit it. Let us understand the natives' way of life before taking it from them. If this is the world as it is meant to be, then I suppose it is meant to be that after I find Oldenburg, I want no part in any of it. May my death be swift. But I don't know. Something tells me that's not the case. There's some good left in this world, and it's worth fighting for.
Listen, Ray, you're a good friend of mine, but I may not be there the next time that skinwalker come around to get you. Take care of yourself. If you ever find yourself in need of a getaway, come on out and join me on a hunt. Oh, and Ray, if you ever catch up to Oldenburg, give 'em hell.
So we keep on fighting. We keep on pushing forward, awaiting the day that we can finally rest. There is no heaven. There is no land. It's all in their heads. We simply get by with what we have. And that's all we have.
Step in front of a runaway train, just to feel alive again, pushing forward through the night, aching just to blur aside. It's so far away. It's so far away. Cold wind blows into the skin. Can't believe the state you're in. It's so far away. It's so far away. Who are you trying to impress, steadily creating a mess? Step in front of a runaway train, just to feel alive again, pushing forward through the night, making chest and blow aside, aching chest and blow aside. Aching chest and blow aside. Step in front of a runaway train, just to feel alive again, pushing forward through the night, can chest and blur aside, aching chest and blur aside. Aching chest and blow aside.
Being a ranger is more than being a symbol of justice for the people to follow. It is a responsibility to uphold the good morals that we will use to change this world. It is being kind to any and every man, woman, and creature, being able to take the time to understand them and respect their beliefs and backgrounds. It is an honor to bring communities together, to provide for them, to protect them. Like the great buffalo of New Hanover, we stick together. We are strong but compassionate. We work hard, but we take time for what truly matters: family. Being a Heartland Ranger is respecting the land we were born on. It is keeping an eye on and preserving our one true home, the Heartlands. Sounds promising, doesn't it? Well, unfortunately, we live in the real world, and Heartland Rangers just aren't what they used to be. That is, what's left of us anyways. Rebuilding from what the Rangers lost has landed me this rundown saloon that I am now referring to as the Heartland Rangers Station, located at the north end of Emerald Ranch. Being that moonshining ain't illegal in these parts, occasionally Cripps' old friend Maggie will pop in and recruit some more muscle for her wagon rides. When the time permits it, I too will help in escorting these wagons as well. There are far worse crimes being committed in New Hanover than to have us throwing men and women behind bars over a little booze. Seems counterproductive if you ask me. Marshal Kincaid of the 3rd U.S. Army Infantry may not be one to agree, but he's good people, and again has far more important things to focus on. Finding himself more often near Valentine as of recent, he keeps an eye out for Oldenburg as well. He certainly has enough work to keep him going. Valentine is definitely no place to rest, especially for a lawman. The military has been making themselves more known as of late, and with that comes uncertainty. While I'm all for men stepping in to protect the people of the frontier, I'm afraid big changes are coming with it. It's my job to keep things the way they used to be, at least out here in the Heartlands. Before I take care of anything, first things first. Let's take one last walk, huh, bud? Down to our favorite spot. Plenty of cattail roots for you and plenty of fish for me. It's truly one of the only places I really feel at peace. I imagine that feeling is about to change. It seems old age got to him before it did me. Been losing his hearing this last year. His legs buckle beneath him constantly, and I'm afraid he's beginning to lose sight in his right eye. Nearly walked us right off a cliff some time ago. Rhodey has been with me for a good decade now, and has been by far my longest companion in my journey. But I'm afraid he will not be up for the job that is finding Oldenburg. Happy trails, old friend. Rangers get their news from our good friend Angus, who's responsible for setting up train deliveries on the outskirts of Emerald Ranch. He told me of a group of natives that attempted a raid on Thieves' Landing and failed miserably. None of the 6 to 7 native men made it out alive, and one of the local gangs was actually able to wrangle up a few of their horses.
What you need, friend?
One of them, a seal brown Breton the locals are calling Carmesay, they say is cursed. One look into his eyes brings out a sickness within you. Frankly, I feel that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I mean, it's a horse, and from the sounds of it, a pretty strong animal. One of the local horse ranchers brushed me up on the details and stated, he's not sure how much they're wanting for the horse. Not sure they're selling it, actually. It was a shot in the dark, but I went for it. I packed up damn near everything I call my own. Coats, satchels, and saddles. Provisions, chicken feed, and tools around the house. I even strapped up an old barrel of moonshine. I figured this with a $200 payment should be more than enough. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. You never know who you're dealing with over in Thieves Landing, but I need me a warrior horse, and I'm hoping Carmesay is just the steed I need. While most might think the life of a trader can be a boring one, I kinda envy them. Getting to travel all over, seeing the sights and meeting the locals. The downside is most towns these days are riddled with bandits looking to either get by on petty crime or try and make a name for themselves by recruiting locals and starting up a gang. The payment doesn't always feel worth the work or travel just to be met with a gun in your face. I may not agree with everything the military is trying to achieve, but I'd be lying if I said their presence isn't welcomed. U.S. Marshal Bill Morgan and his men patrol wherever their horses take them, and they're making a name for themselves in their wake. While outlaws of New Hanover may try and get the upper hand on an old ranger like myself, I feel they'd think twice before approaching a U.S. Marshal. As long as things with the natives don't get too out of hand, I'm happy to assist them anytime the Rangers are needed. When I got to Thieves Landing, I was greeted by some Del Lobo's boys, and they seemed very hesitant to speak with me, so I did the talking. I handed them a list of everything I had on the wagon, along with $200. Quiero Carmesay, I told them. When finally one of them spoke in perfect English, he told me my wagon and money was a good down payment, but the price for Carmesay is a man's head. Apparently a man known as Toby Dunham double-crossed the Del Lobos on a moonshine deal, and rumor has it, he's been seen near Valentine as of recent. They told me to bring him in dead or alive, or they'll come back for Carmesay. I told the man as a ranger I'm afraid his crime was committed outside my jurisdiction, but without a proper permit for moonshine, he can spend up to 2 nights in jail. I'm willing to bend the rules a bit to get him locked up in Valentine, and once he's out, he'll be an easy target. Just no funny business with the local law enforcement. He told me Dunham won't go quietly, so I probably won't have to be too quiet myself. I told him in that case, I'm gonna need a fully loaded saddle with a lantern, bedroll, and a few days worth of provisions, and we've got a deal. He nodded and pointed me towards their stables. You the gentleman I'm needing to see?
Well then, funny, eh?
Yeah, I was told looking into his eyes brings out a sickness in you. It really made me think. Who's dumb enough to keep doing it? What a majestic beast. A magnificent creature. I'll take it from here, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
All righty then. Boy, oh boy.
Now it was time to really see what this beast was made of. I needed to take him on a test ride. Take him through the elements. Make sure he don't scare easy or break under the weight of it all. And after a few days' time, I finally made my way back to the heart of New Hanover. Back to the Heartlands. Mr. Dunham, you are hereby under arrest for illegally transporting moonshine through New Hanover without a proper permit. Them Del Lobos boys would like a word with you once you've finished your stay here in Valentine.
Jesus Christ!
Through the gate of flame, wake and rise. It could be your life if you let the reins and lean in. My love.
I'd have put a bullet in him for sure.
I did. He needs a doctor.
To each their due. Money's on the table.
Pleasure doing business.
When it calls you near, calls you near.
As nightfall came, I threw an old poncho over the back of my new companion, and it got me thinking. This horse ain't cursed at all. This is a beautiful animal, and I'm happy to have him by my side through this journey. Poncho. Got a nice ring to it, don't you think? That's one partner purchased. One more to go. I waited for DW for the rest of that day into the night. Wasn't sure what the holdup could be, but I most certainly did not appreciate the looks I was getting. Van Horn locals have been known to not take kindly to many strangers, and they've got a temper to go with it. You kick a rock wrong and they might shoot you for it. But after that third bottle of whiskey, a man finally came and joined me for a drink.
Ray Johnson, I presume. I do apologize for the delay. I had a little trouble just up the road. A gang of local reprobates. They didn't seem too happy about me being there. I think I've lost them, but I cannot be certain. I know what it is you seek, Ray. And as long as there's a reasonable payment for me, I'm more than willing to provide you my services and work under the terms by which you wish for me to operate. But first things first. Is there anybody eyeing us up?
Actually, there's a gentleman over there in the corner that's been eyeing over here all night.
Look, I don't know what's about to happen here. And I know you do not know me very well. But these folks, they will eat us alive given the chance. I don't know you very well either, Ray Johnson. But you're paying me. Or so I hope. So I gotta keep you alive. You seem like a decent enough fella. And from what I heard, you are. But that's yet to be decided in my books. So let me just say this. I cannot tell you whether or not the boys staring at us now are the same ones who's giving me trouble. But if we ought to get out of this mess, the both of us are gonna have to work together. Let's finish up our drinking here and make our way to the exit. You lead.
Howdy, handsome.
You looking for a roll in the hay?
Yeah, Deacon, why don't you have a go?
You probably don't know how to please a girl nohow.
You know this guy?
You fool!
Something very
Enough
wrong
already.
with that bastard.
Hey, come on, try this. Get me out of there. So we...
I knew stepping into this with this fella would be sure to stir up trouble, but I had no idea just what kind of trouble would follow us after that first shot was fired. Something about that first kill, that first up-close and personal kill, triggered something within me. Inhaling that crimson mist, the smell, the taste, it was like an explosion within me. I felt it filling my mind, body, and soul with an untamed rage, and I knew I had to keep both feet on the ground. Leave him! I can't let vengeance get the better of me like it once did before. I fire my gun or shoot my bow to protect me, my own, and what's mine. Never anything more than that. I've got to stay the course and work with my new partners in bringing Oldenburg and the rest of the criminal underworld to justice. And so there we were, At the end of all that was the beginning of a very unique friendship. It set the tone for what's to come. For me, for my new partner, for the frontier, and for Oldenburg. Hope you're ready for me, old man.
I don't usually go announcing my name, but given what just happened, it's the least I can do. Deacon Walters, at your service.
Ray Johnson, captain of the Heartland Rangers.